Hi, I'm here today with Anne Fairfax and Richard Sammons, amazing architects. Their firm, Fairfax and Sammons, is located in New York City in Palm Beach. Welcome, Anne. Welcome, Richard.
Hi.
So today we're going to talk a little bit about townhouses. And Richard, we've talked about the fact that townhouses are hot again. In this time of COVID, people want a little bit more privacy. They want more control over their spaces. But if you're coming from vertical living, townhouses are new and they're different. And what do buyers need to be aware of, Richard?
The first thing is that the townhouse is actual real estate that has dirt attached to it. So that's the positive. You're actually getting something that is real rather than air in the sky with the promise that you can use it as long as the building stands. Look for one that's either fairly intact or hasn't been messed with too much. Always good. I think it's the street that matters in general, but they are private oases. But it's interesting about the townhouse because the townhouse, more than the skyscraper, defines New York. If you actually look at the mass of buildings in New York, most of them are that 20 to 25 foot increment that changes every 25 feet. That gives our city such a vibrance and variety. It's not these very large buildings, and it's not so much the skyscrapers that defines New York, but the miles and miles and miles of brownstones, townhouses.
Do you have a viewpoint on whether someone should work with the existing structure or blow out a townhouse and gut renovate it?
I think a potential owner needs to understand that all of these moldings can be beautifully made, replicated, made new today, and they don't necessarily, have to hang on to this last little shred of plaster and restore it. Sarah Jessica Parker and her husband Matthew, they wanted something that looked old and kind of funky. They didn't want you to blow the whole thing out and fresh and new. So we worked with their existing moldings and their the stair, the saggy stair, and all of that. It's all new systems behind that. It's a little harder to do. Mm-hmm. If you flush it all out, you got all your new electric, HVAC, structural members can be shored up. So I think we worked with Liv Tyler as well. She took that route. We said, you're young, you're going to own this house a long time. Let's just get rid of all this because it was so changed and so degraded. And so now she has a house that looks properly, authentically, historically correct, but it's all new.
That leads to the issue of, how do you deal with plans of townhouses and they are not that flexible when it comes to, there's the way they were designed originally usually is the best way to relay them out. One room in front, one room in back. Maybe it's a triple file house, there's a tea room, the stair up the side. The variant is having the stair run crossways in the middle. So there's not a lot of flexibility, but there's a couple of options. People that try to do very inventive things with them often find themselves in a conundrum, I would say.
We put elevators in a
14-footer.
14-foot wide.
Ooh, you guys are good.
It was amazing. It worked.
Probably width is a premium. We designed a row of townhouses on State Street in Brooklyn that the developer just insisted on the number of townhouses that we're going to build, and that made them 14, 15 feet wide. If he had gone to one less townhouse, we could have gotten 18 feet wide, which is a lot more flexible.
Oh, yeah.
But we got it to work.
Well, I'm sure if anybody's watching this, they would want to consult with you. Do you work with people when they're in the process of looking at a home and give your opinion before they buy?
Yes, and it's a very good idea to bring your architect before buying something. They may just see something that either is a problem or conversely, a wonderful opportunity. I mean, I normally get more excited when they see something rather than discouraged.
Okay, question for either of you. Wood burning or gas fireplace?
I think this is the, classic partner, husband and wife, disagreement, because Richard's a pure romantic. He loves to build a wood fire. I err on the practical side, and I like to be able to just click it on. And
So the compromise in our own house is the wood-burning fireplace is downstairs in the keeping room, and the bedroom has a gas fireplace.
What a great team you guys are for a client. They get both the romantic and the pragmatic. What was a favorite townhouse you ever worked on?
Mine is our own, which is actually a pair of carriage houses in the village. Very bijou, tiny little footprints, big tall ceilings, very 1920s kind of swank. And it has everything packed into a small package. It's got wood burning fireplaces, it has gardens, it has this dramatic, architectural feeling to it, and the coziness. And I love the fact of being able to walk straight off the street into your living space. It's very convenient.
I think the most fun was the Jenkins, a little 15-footer. And I think I didn't even work on it, Ann did it. So I just think it was ingenious the way she got that to feel like a big house, even though it's tiny.
Yeah, it's a big family. They have 3 boys. And
wow.
So there's a lot of privacy in townhouses when they're small. So, you really can, get away very easily. To call these kids to dinner must be difficult, must have an interview.
Everybody's on their cell phone now. They text them to dinner. They don't call them to dinner.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, the Merchant House still has its bells. So you could, the old Merchant's House Museum, something every townhouse owner should go look at. Because it's on East 4th Street. It's called the Old Merchant's House Museum. It is completely intact. It was last altered in about 1850 something when they redecorated. And there's no changes after that. It's a complete time capsule.
And it has all the furniture, all the ephemera, wallpaper, and it's, every townhouse owner should become a member because they have fabulous parties. And it's just a wonderful way to introduce a potential townhouse owner, or somebody who's already owns one, what was the height of fashion in that era for their own house. We've won lots of awards for our townhouse restorations. It's something we're very, very familiar with, been doing it for 30 years. If you or your colleagues have clients who want us to come along, we just call us up, we'll jump on the subway in a cab, get up there, meet them. And it's nice free advice. It's great for us. We could potentially get a client out of it. And I think for somebody who's like you, who's marketing, it's very good to have somebody at their elbow to say, okay, I'm going to call Ann and Richard, and they're going to come up and, give us some insight and help out with the sale. Because owning a house in New York City, if you haven't done it before, it might be a little daunting.
Ann, Richard, thank you so much for spending time with me today and sharing your insights and knowledge and humor.
Thank you so much.
I look forward
to enjoyed it.
Bye.
Take care.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.